Hollywood is lying. Suppressors in the movies are so much quieter than they are in real life, and I see people misled by that all the time in forums, on YouTube comments, at ranges in person. So today we're talking about realistic suppressor setups and a few things you can do to make your setup as quiet as possible to try to get you to that Hollywood quiet gun with the suppressor. Before we dive into the full video, we're going to take a quick second to thank the sponsors of today's video. The first one being Silencer Shop. If you can't tell, we like suppressors over here, and it's easier to buy a suppressor than you think. Silencer Shop helps you with all that. They have suppressors, SBRs, everything you could ever want. They helped us put together this video today, which helps you learn about how to suppress your guns better. So go check them out and buy a can. The next sponsor of today's video is Phantom Defense Ammo. We love the guys over there. They make some spicy 300 blackouts, 8.6 blackout, 5.56, pretty much all the cool calibers. They just released 6 ARC, so go check them out. A lot of the ammo we're shooting today is provided by those guys. Phantom Defense Ammo. Thank you guys. If you want to get as close as you can to that Hollywood quiet suppressed gun setup, there are 4 main things that you can do that affect sound performance drastically with suppressors. The first one being, I hope, very obvious to all you guys, but it's caliber size, cartridge size. Something like this is going to be a lot easier to suppress than something like this. With a cartridge like this, 50 BMG, this is full of powder. Same with this cartridge, full of powder. Same with this 22 LR, full of powder. So as you see, the smaller caliber you go, the less gunpowder there is in there. The smaller the explosion is going to be that the suppressor is trying to contain. We're going to do a quick demonstration real quick. I'm going to shoot a big caliber. This is 308. It's not even that big of a caliber, but it's definitely bigger than the 22 I'm going to shoot next, just so you can see that big round makes big sound. And now we're going to shoot 22, which is a tiny round, and show that it's so much quieter. So small round, not very much sound. Big round, lots of sound, lots of explosion, a lot more work the suppressor is going to have to try and do. Just as a quick note, I'm going to mention bore size because there are cans like this one. This is 46 cal and this one's a 22 cal. As you can see, there's clearly a much bigger hole for the projectile to go through. So if you're shooting a 22 through a huge can like this, it will work. It's not necessarily recommended because the overbore, the hole being so much bigger than the projectile, is going to let a lot of sound out. So it's not going to be optimum sound performance. So keep that in mind. You want to get the correct bore size for the caliber you're shooting. Some cartridges are designed specifically for use with suppressors, and it's going to be, there's a couple easy ways to notice that. On the box, it'll say Subsonic, like this, or you look at muzzle velocity, it says 1050 feet per second, 1050. If it's under 1100, it'll be subsonic. And then this is the same 300 blackout, but the muzzle velocity is 2,450. So this is not subsonic. And why that's important is because when anything breaks the sound barrier, there's a supersonic crack that comes with it. Most of you will probably know that visual from fighter jets breaking the sound barrier. That's a very common thing that people see in videos. But
Indiana Jones.
Or Indiana Jones.
The whip.
Yep. Oh, okay, I'll talk about whips.
Or Django Unchained.
All right, so yes, whips. The crack of a whip is the end of the whip breaking the sound barrier. The supersonic boom from a jet is the jet breaking the sound barrier. So it's the same with any ammo. The projectile, no matter what size, if it breaks the sound barrier, it has a crack. Doesn't matter what suppressor you run, doesn't matter what caliber it is, it's going to have crack. That's not something that can be handled with any normal conventions. So when you're buying ammo, if you're looking for subsonic, it's usually a heavier bullet, a heavier grain weight, or the easiest way is just look at the muzzle velocity on the box. 1100 is generally where you break the speed of sound. It's a little temperature dependent, maybe a couple other variables I don't know about, but for sure temperature will affect that. But in general, 1100 or less shouldn't have supersonic crack. Anything over will have supersonic crack, and we'll demonstrate that right now. All right, so we've got this mag loaded up. Every other round is supersonic, subsonic, supersonic, subsonic. That way it'll be very easy for you to hear the difference. These are the same round, the only difference is the speed. Did you hear the difference? Same demonstration with 300 blackout, so it's a rifle caliber. This is supersonic, subsonic, supersonic, subsonic, etc. There is a cheat code for supersonic, subsonic ammo, and it's something like this. This is an MP5 SD. Mr. Horsehead Infidel over here is letting us use his gun today to demonstrate. If you get in real close, you can see there's porting in the barrel, and then this giant can slides all the way over the porting. What that does is take any supersonic ammo you run through this gun, because of the porting, it makes it subsonic. So it doesn't matter what ammo you put in here, it's gonna shoot subsonic, it's gonna be as quiet as possible. We've got a mag loaded up. Same thing we did before, supers versus subs. You're gonna hear out of this gun, because it's designed to do this, we'll shoot everything subsonic. Be way quieter. If you can afford to buy an SD, MP5, B&T, APC-9, whatever.
You deserve to save money and get quiet ammo no matter what kind of ammo it is.
That's true. That's the only reason to buy an SD, save money on ammo. Spend $3,000 more on the gun to save money on the ammo. All right, so the MP5 SD, supers and subs loaded in this mag. See if you can find a difference.
I did hear a difference.
You're lying.
No.
Our next talking point is semi-auto versus bolt action or lever action. In semi-auto, these guns, by the way, shoot the exact same ammo. We're even going to use the same mag. They have the exact same suppressor on it, the Lazarus 6 from Dead Air. A semi-auto cycles itself every time you shoot it. So this action is going to open, noise is going to come out of there every time you shoot it. On its own, it's going to cycle that action and a bunch of noises come out of there. So as we go to bolt action, you cycle this on your own. You close the bolt, it does not open again until you physically open it. When you don't have noise coming out of the action, as you can see, hopefully on video, it's so much quieter than when you have the semi-auto and the action is cycling. Our last talking point, suppressor volume. This is a tiny 9mm can. This is a normal size 9mm can. This one sounds way better because the gases that are expanding when you shoot around need somewhere to go. If you have more volume, there's more space for the gases to expand into, and then ultimately it's quieter. This can was originally marketed as like an assassin's can. It came with Vaseline in it, which if you want to learn more about running a suppressor wet, it is quieter. Drop that in the comments. That's a whole different topic we could talk about if you want us to. But that only lasts a couple shots, and it really sucks to shoot without the Vaseline in there. So I'm going to shoot a few rounds. These are subsonic 147. We have 2 mags loaded up, the exact same ammo. None of us are assassins, so this can doesn't even make sense. Like, I'm not shooting 1 or 2 shots when I go to the range. I'm not Luigi, and if I was, I wouldn't be paying for a tax stamp. I'd be 3D printing that shit like he did. So here's the loud can, 147 grain subs. All right, that was loud as f. This can's dumb. We're gonna go to the bigger can, also 9mm. Just a normal can, not marketed towards assassins, which none of us are. Am I being too hard on the small can? I just think it's dumb. I'm sorry if you like it. I like to shoot the stuff I own. Oh, so much quieter. Buy a can that's not too small to sound good. With volume, there is a point of diminishing returns with semi-autos, something like an AR, where you have to tune it. If the can's too big, it gets kind of hard to tune. It'll then be unreliable when you take the can off and run it unsuppressed. So do what you want with that. A bolt gun, no limits. Put as big of a can as you want on there. You cycle the action, it doesn't matter. Well, so that's about it for the video on Hollywood quiet guns. And the answer is buy a 22. That's pretty much the only real way you're gonna get a Hollywood quiet gun. And if you want to make your bigger calibers more quiet, follow some of the steps we talked about, and it will help greatly with that. So Subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, like the video, let us know in the comments what other kind of videos you want to see, and we'll see you guys on the next one.